But because we went to bed that day with pain, they said this to me, they did this to me, they don't love me, they rejected me, they insulted me in front of so many people. Because my mind goes to sleep with those thoughts go deep into the subconscious. And now we're trying very hard to forget it, and we're not able to do it.
Welcome, Sister Shivani. Welcome to Fab Life 360. With all my heart to this show, Fab Life 360 on Ruckus Avenue Radio. It's such an honor to have you as a guest. It's a matter of pride. Actually, this is the best show ever. So thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you so much. Om Shanti.
Before I get started with the questions that we all are always asking you, can I ask you, with your permission, and we don't have to do it if you don't want to, and we can skip to the questions, is about you. Like, how did your journey, spiritual journey, start? Because a lot of time people are doing guesses, but a lot of people don't know about your personal spiritual journey. What were you doing before, and how did you get here?
No, there's nothing very dramatic about this spiritual journey, because there's nothing happened which has taken me towards it. It's just that my mother was on this journey. And, when a parent is experimenting and experiencing something in their life, automatically that influence will come on the rest of the family. So she had started a meditative lifestyle. So obviously we saw her every morning meditation. Then she would be going to the Raj Yoga Meditation Center daily for her spiritual class. And of course, the food at home became sattvic, which there was a little resistance from our end at the beginning. But then what she did was she cooked her sattvic and she let us eat what we have to eat, which was a very good thing to do in the initial times. And so she just started her journey and not imposing that journey on any of us. So it was her personal journey. Of course, she would share everything that she is benefiting, but I don't think I found the need for it. So I was like, yeah, it's okay. You need this. I don't need it because I'm fine in my life. There was no issues in my life. I mean, we're talking about 25, 30 years back. We didn't have the kind of issues that we have today. This word stress and all was not there that time. So life is going perfect. Your academic is perfect. Your work is perfect. So you don't find the need. I mean, I didn't find the need at least that time for any meditation or spirituality. But then it was just the change that I saw in her. It was very inspirational. Not that she had something very big to change like that, but just becoming emotionally stronger, not getting worried for her children, taking care but not getting worried, not panicking if they are late, because that was an era of no mobile phones. So if you're late, you don't have a way of communicating at home that you're stuck somewhere in the traffic jam. And earlier, you would have a parent who's worried that where's the child? It's like 2 hours above time. So obviously, but all that was changing. That she would take care, but otherwise, she would just be silent with the faith that yes, they will return in time. And so all these little day to day issues were changing the way she was responding. Nothing very big happened at home or a family that, some crisis, but just these little day to day issues were transformational in her behavior. And so I knew that she's definitely got something. It's not just doing meditation, but she's definitely energizing herself with that. And I think it was just the vibrations in the house, in the air, in the food we eat, or whatever. And I just said one day, even I want to do this. Though, again, at that time, there was no need for anything, but it's just the effect of the vibrations around you. And that's why I personally always suggest this to every parent: don't force your children into anything, because many of them would be like me, that if you force them, they will move away. They don't want to be forced into anything. But if the parent does it very gently and accurately, then that vibration and change in the parent is the biggest influence. Words and, forcing people or trying to convince them how beneficial it is doesn't work with everybody. But vibrations and your personal change, transformation will have an impact on everybody. So that's the easiest way to influence your family.
Beautiful. I love that. I was just thinking, like, this is an answer for all the parents, all of us.
Yeah.
who are always thinking, how do we get our children in yoga and meditation?
True.
Just do it. They'll see
Yeah.
changes and they'll follow
Yeah.
it.
One is they see changes, and the second is also when you are meditating at home or when you're doing a spiritual study, your vibrations radiate into the house.
Yeah.
And when those vibrations are in the house, it's like the air. It's the air in which the rest of the family is living. It's like if one person at home is stressed, the vibration of stress will radiate in the house. It will
Yeah.
also impact other people. So today, when parents are so concerned about their children's emotional health, mental health, all these issues are a real concern now for parents. That what do we do? My child is anxiety, gets panic attack, or gets stressed very easily. Well, the reason is because of the stress in the house also. The
Hmm.
reason is not just the child's life or what is happening in their life. It's also the stress in the house. It's the stress in the environment, whether they are in school or college, whether they are at home, whether they are with their friend circle. They are surrounded by minds which believe that stress is normal, who
Hmm.
believe that anger is normal. So they're living their life that way. So we're basically living in the air, which is toxic in terms of vibrations, because the air is vibrating with lust, ego, greed, jealousy, anger, worry, fear. So we are living in that air. So every child is absorbing that vibration. That's why they're becoming an emotionally a little vulnerable, reactive, getting stressed easily. So the only way is the parent has to start that meditation at home. So if the vibration of stress can impact the child, then the vibration of meditation, peace, and calm will also impact the child. So even if your child does not go towards meditation, does not go towards spirituality, even after 10 years, suppose the child has not gone anywhere near it, you are still influencing the child just by doing it yourself. It's going to energize every person you interact with. So vibration is one thing that it doesn't benefit only the person who does it. Anything else will benefit only the person who does it. So if we take care of our physical health, it's only our physical health that benefits. You can't gift your physical health to your family or to your children. It's only your body which strengthens if you work on it. But if you work on your mind, then it's not only your mind which benefits. That energy is strength for even all the other minds who are living at home. So, emotional health is something which radiates to other people from us. So, when you're doing it for yourself, you have to remember it's not just for the self, it's impacting everybody. In fact, it's even vibrating into the collective vibration of the planet. So, you're actually being a part of healing the planet. You're actually being a part of creating the new world that everybody wants, a world of peace, a world of purity, a world of unity. It has to be created here. So, your effort, or you're that little taking out the time to do this. Initially, there's a little effort when you start something new. You have to change your routine, you have to change your lifestyle. But that little effort, we have to tell ourselves, this is not just for me. This is going to impact my entire family. This is going to impact my teams where I work. And this is also radiating into the collective consciousness of the planet. So, what is 20 minutes? What is 30 minutes? If it's actually contributing to create peace in the world.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. In fact, I'm so glad you brought this up. I wanted to share this with you. Just today, I heard and it shocked me an
Mm,
ad on radio
mm.
for a sleeping pill for children. This is the children, this is especially for children above 4 years of age. And I'm still stumped. I don't even know what to say.
No, they see it's anything not taken care of, like a physical ailment. If you don't take care of it, whether with a medicine or whether any healing therapy, if you don't take care of an ailment, it tends to get chronic, right? So we were not taking care of our own sleeping patterns. So the adults got onto sleeping medication or any other substances to go to sleep because many of them were not experiencing natural sleep. So once they don't do something in their lifestyle to get back to natural sleep, the next people to get affected are the children and the youngsters because you're not changing the lifestyle. So obviously your child is not going to learn a new lifestyle. Your child is a part of your lifestyle. So how did you resolve your issue of sleep? You took a sleeping medicine. So how will they resolve their issue of sleep? They will also need it. It will start with just a few, but if still not taken care of, it'll become a very common thing in few years, because we're not doing anything for changing it. So we have to change our lifestyle so that we get good sleep and deep sleep. It's very simple to change your lifestyle so that you get very good deep sleep. And deep sleep is important for healing the mind and the body. Not just 6 hours or 8 hours of sleep, but deep delta state sleep is needed for healing the mind and the body on a daily basis.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you. So let's talk briefly about really deep night routine and
Yeah,
morning routine so that we are
yeah,
energized and fresh all day and we sleep
true.
deeply, like 5 hours, 8 hours, doesn't matter. And I've experienced it
Yes,
myself. The
yes.
quality of sleep is way more important than the quantity of sleep.
Quantity, yeah. In fact, when the quality is good, the quantity will automatically be lesser. So
Yeah.
if you sleep right and you experience that deep sleep, your two sleep cycles of delta stage are over, you will just wake up naturally. Why is it that we go on sleeping longer and we're not waking up? Because we've still not gone through that deep sleep delta stage. So the mind and the body is still sleeping, so that the mind and the body experiences that delta stage. So when we start, that's why even sleep is called Yog Nidra, which
Right.
means sleep like a yogi, which means a meditative sleep, a deep sleep, not a turbulent sleep where there are too many dreams, too much mind is thinking, even creating fear in our sleep because we've seen some visual, felt some
Yeah.
energy.
Yeah.
This is not deep sleep.
I
Yeah,
just experienced that. I saw a show on Netflix and I went to
yeah,
sleep after that. And in the morning, I
yeah,
kept thinking, why am I tired? Why am I tired? And then it occurred to me
yes,
that was a
yes.
disturbing. So let's go over the routine.
That's how you got the answer right. Now, this is
Yeah.
what we have to do. First thing is go back to that earlier belief system with which we used to live our life: early to bed, early to rise. Makes a person healthy, wealthy, wise. This was our, slogan which we used to learn in school 30, 40 years back. Early to bed, early to rise makes a person healthy, wealthy, wise. I don't know how it's in your country, but I know how it's in India. A lot of children like to study in the night
Yeah.
nowadays.
Yeah.
A lot of them want to stay up in the night and study. They feel they're able to study better at night. Yeah, one of the factors is you have a lot of silence around you. There's no distraction. The rest of the family is sleeping. There's no TV on. There are no phones ringing. Yes, it's a very big factor, which kind of tells children that, okay, this is a better time to study, because there's silence in my house. But studying doesn't need only silence in the house. Studying needs silence in the mind also. That is very important. So there is a best time of everything. The best time to sleep, which means the highest energizing time when we have to be asleep. It is 10 to 2. These 4 hours, everyone should be asleep. Now, after that, you sleep more. But 10 to 2, you should be asleep. It's like the best time for doing something. The best time for a farmer to sow a seed. If he doesn't sow the seed at that time, he can keep sowing the seed in any other month. He will not get that kind of result because
Yeah.
he's not sown it at the right time. So there's a right time. So 10 to 2 is the highest energizing time. Now, if I want to sleep at 10, by 8 o'clock, I need to disconnect from work communication. Work communication. Children continue studying, but working professionals disconnect from work communication. Work should not be on our mind when we go to sleep. So, work emails, work messages, business phone calls, you have to disconnect 2 hours before you sleep. So that give the mind that space and that time to process everything that was there and to sort it out and settle down before we actually go to bed. Same with the body. Have an early dinner and a light dinner because the food has to get digested before we go to sleep. And every doctor will tell us we need to eat at least 2.5, 3 hours before we sleep and a light dinner so that we finish our digestion before we go to sleep. If the digestion is happening while I'm sleeping, then the healing is not happening because then the energy in the body is doing the digestion. They can do only one thing at one time. And then
Right.
you will feel heavy and sluggish and not go into deep sleep because the body is busy doing digestion of the food. Again,
Right.
a lifestyle change. Late dinners, heavy dinners, not good for the mind, not good for the body. So to sleep at 10, we would finish our dinner by 7 and we would disconnect from work communication by 8,
Eight.
which means the mind and the body both is being given rest now.
Right.
By 8, 8:39, You will disconnect from media and social media, disconnect completely. Actually, more, but people will say, okay, now we're back from home, so we need some entertainment. So, fine. So, at least an hour,
Hour.
right? So, an hour of not watching world news, after that, watching, reading, or listening, not any digital platforms, like you said, not even social media, not even social media. Which means if you want to absorb something from media, it has to be a very energizing content,
Yeah.
because it is your last layer of content which is going on the mind. This last layer of content is going to be the active energy during your sleep on the mind, and also vibration radiating to the body. So if I watch content in which there is violence, there is disease, there is death, there is just aggression, there is just lust, if I'm watching all this before I go to sleep, then this is my predominant emotion during my sleep, and that is my predominant vibration radiating to the body, because it's on my mind. So no content of which we call normal content, but that normal content is not healthy content. So even social media is like comparison, being addicted to people's approval. Even, in fact, just last night somebody shared with me, I just check my work, how many sales happened in today's day. But if you check it in the night, then it's good, that figure is going to work on you during your sleep.
Yeah.
So we have to be very careful what's the last layer of information.
Last.
So 1 hour before we disconnect from media, social media, use that time for yourself, read a good book, be with your family. No problem discussion and no argument 1 hour before we sleep. So it's just because we're all at home at that time, so that becomes the time for all problems, arguments, fights. Any argument, any difference of opinion, next day, next day, not before going to sleep. It's going to affect everyone's sleep involved in that.
Yeah.
So these are the things we need to take care of. Keep the last 20 minutes before you sleep for yourself. So 5 minutes, a daily journal, a diary, a letter to God, which means
Oh,
release your emotions of the day. Any uncomfortable emotions of the day need to be released before we go to sleep. Otherwise, if I carry that to bed, it's going to go into my subconscious during my sleep. So it's on the top layer of the mind, whatever I did today. If there's anything which is not clean in this, clean it before you go to sleep, because once you go to sleep, now it's not on the top layer of your mind. Now it will go deep inside. And that's why when we say, I cannot forgive that person, I'm not able to forget that thing which happened many years. Had you cleaned it that night before going to sleep, it would have been a healed issue. But
heelish.
because we went to bed that day with pain, they said this to me, they did this to me, they don't love me, they rejected me, they insulted me in front of so many people. Because my mind goes to sleep with those thoughts go deep into the subconscious. And now we're trying very hard to forget it, and we're not able to do it
Do a
every day.
brain dump, do a journal, get rid of it,
Yeah.
read
So
something
you have
positive.
to, no, read something positive is different. First, you have to reflect on what happened during the day. You have to check your uncomfortable emotions and behaviors of the day, and you have to write out in your journal the positive feeling that you could have created that day when that happened. So,
Hmm.
let's say, for example, I got angry with someone. Then, before I go to sleep, I apologize to them. Either I message an apology to them, or I write an apology in the diary, which
Hmm.
means I am going to change the coding here. Suppose someone did not react well to me, I forgive them before going to sleep. I have to do this. I have to do this. Everyone put this on priority that I have to do this. So forgive them before you go to sleep. If I created a critical or a judgmental thought for someone, if I created a thought of jealousy for someone, write the counter thought before you go to sleep. I appreciate them. They have this beautiful quality. Lots and love and blessings to them for the success they have achieved. Counter thought, which means the right thought. You write it down before you go to sleep. That's your first stage of transformation, first step of transformation. Otherwise, you will go to sleep with those wrong thoughts, wake up in the morning with those wrong thoughts, create more of those wrong thoughts during the day, and then live a life saying these are normal thoughts. These are not normal thoughts. Then 10 minutes, you absorb some very, very pure, powerful, divine, positive content before sleeping. So that's where spirituality plays a very important role. Content of faith, compassion, acceptance, purity, love, respect. Last layer of information, 10 minutes before you go to sleep, because then that's the quality which will get processed in the next 6 hours, 7 hours while you're sleeping. Last 1 minute, create positive affirmations for your life, anything that you want to manifest in your life, and let the manifestation be more about the personality and not just about your achievements. About your personality, I'm a powerful being, I am calm and stable, I accept people, my relationships stand on a strong foundation of trust and unity. So write all these affirmations for yourself and then create them just before you go to sleep. My body is perfect and healthy, success is certain for me. So create a set of about 8, 10 thoughts like this, but use the same one every day. So don't change your affirmation
Ah,
every day. We're
same
going to
exact.
use it till it manifests. So the last thought before you sleep is like a magical thought. You can literally call it a magical thought. So it has to be the last thought before you sleep and the first thought when you wake up. So
Okay.
these are the two times when the impact is the most. So even by mistake, unaware, never create a wrong thought just before you're going to sleep. Even a simple thing like, oh, my body is hurting, oh, nothing is fine, oh, this is not right. Even if it's the truth, don't create that thought before you go to sleep, because then you are making that thought so powerful that the chances of it manifesting, the chances of it becoming a reality are very high. So create a thought which you want to manifest, even if it's not the truth right now. You create a thought which you want to manifest. Vocabulary should be of an affirmation. So I may not be healthy, but I will create a thought before sleeping. My body is perfect and healthy and will always be. I may be very stressed, but I will create a thought before sleeping. I am calm and stable. I'm happy always. So, what we want to manifest, we have to create it just before going to sleep. So, 5 minutes for a diary, 10 minutes for consuming very pure content, and 1 minute to say your affirmation before you go to sleep. Now you're going to go into delta stage of sleep
All
and you
right.
will wake up fresh, energetic,
Fresh,
not
energetic.
not pressing snooze buttons wanting to sleep more.
So at this point, we'll take a short break while everyone listening contemplate and reflect on this thought and make a plan as how they can do it tonight. Would love it if you click on the like and subscribe button below. I bring positive stories from celebrities and philanthropists from around the world and stay updated with all things fab on my Fab Life 360 Instagram page. Also, if you are looking for something fun and inspiring to listen to, find my podcast Fab Life 360 on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcast, or wherever you get your podcast.